Hey Overpower fans, Traveling Goose back. And if you started delving into the world of Legacy OverPower, you've probably heard the term Battlesite. But what are Battlesites? Well, to be clear, Battlesites are not part of the modern Overpower experience. They're a game mechanic that was built 20 or so years ago, back when the Marvel and DC and Image characters were a thing, and therefore they can only be used in Legacy OverPower play. So if you're looking to head to one of the NAOL tournaments in the near future, stay tuned and let's explain what Battlesites can do for you. In Modern, you must pick a suite of any characters to use while constructing your deck. The any character cards help supplement your deck and add some consistency along with choices to make. In Modern, LRG plans to release at least one new set of any character cards per expansion. With Edgar Rice Burroughs and the World Legends, these were the any characters that you had a choice to add into your deck. Stuff like Freya, Merlin's Magic, or the infamous Grim Reaper. Once Skybound releases, we'll have a brand new set of any characters to choose from, with new cataclysms, ambushes, and more. You'll not be able to mix and match any characters from the ERB and the Skybound set. Instead, you'll have to choose between any characters from a single era, so either the ERB or the Skybound. That choice is called choosing your battleground, which is a similar but different idea than choosing a battle site. In Legacy, you can play with any characters like you would in Modern, but you also have another option, and that option is battle sites. If you choose battle sites, you won't be able to include any characters in your deck at all. Instead, you'll use a card called activators. Let me explain. But first, we have to talk about location cards. In Modern, you're familiar with using a location card as a home base. This 221B Baker Street, for example, is a location card which can be used as a home base. It costs 0 threat, and also will grant you an inherent ability that's written on it, and, of course, placing slots for an aspect and a character special. But if you look at Legacy cards, you'll see that there's a different looking location. These locations have 6 characters listed, no threat cost, and an inherent ability. These were the OG home bases, and there was a requirement to use them to get the placing slot and inheritance that home bases give you. Your team had to be chosen from the 6 characters that are listed. But the home base let you ignore typical threat limits. So if you picked Wundagore Mountain as your home base, you would be able to use a 3-stat Doctor Doom, 19-point Nightcrawler, 20-point Omega Red, 18-point Quicksilver, and be way over the 72 points you'd be allocated for having one 3-stat character on your team, and it would still be legal. The inherent on Wundagore Mountain would be active, and most home base inherents are positive and reward you for playing that specific pool of characters. But like Wundagore, some can be negative in exchange for building a stronger than usual team. You also have to include one home base specific aspect card in your deck. All these aspects are considered one per deck. Eventually, Legacy OverPower sets were released that also let you use these 6 character locations as what's known as a battle site. If you chose a battle site instead of any characters, you gain access to a pack of sideboard special cards related to the characters listed on the battle site. And you'd shuffle those character cards into your deck that you'd be able to use to play and pull one of those sideboard specials. Neat, huh? Rather than drawing an ambush or assist, you draw one of those activators and instead get a choice of what you want to exchange that for. But there's a bunch of rules that kept battle sites from becoming too powerful, so let's take a look at them. The biggest restriction for battle sites is that your team can't include any of the 6 characters that are listed on it. If you were to use this Wundagore Mountain team, you wouldn't be able to use Latveria as your battle site because Doctor Doom is listed on this battle site, and he's on our team. So let's instead choose the Vault as our battle site and place it to the left of our reserve. The first thing to note is that the inherent that's written on the card will not apply if you're using it as a battle site. Pretend it isn't even there. During the deck building process, you choose what specials are going to be stored under your battle site according to the following rules. Rule number 0. As mentioned, you can't have any character that's listed on your battle site also be on your team. Rule number 1. You can only have a total of one per deck in your battle site. Rule number 2. You can only have a single card of each code under your battle site. Specials in Legacy have this code on the bottom left, and all cards that share a similar function would have the same code, in this case AA. This rule would prevent you from running any duplicates in your battle site because they all have the same code, but it's even more restricting because both the Hobgoblin and Venom have an AA, and you'd only be able to include a maximum of one of those under your battle site. Some of the earlier cards have erroneously printed codes on them, so check overpower.ca in the Specials tab or the upcoming NAOL website to see what the corrected codes are. Rule number 3. For each card set aside under your battle site, you have to set aside a corresponding number of activators to shuffle into your deck. These activators are just character cards, but get the name activators when they're shuffled in your deck instead of comprising your team. When you draw and play an activator, they're going to fetch a corresponding special for that character for you to play. More on that in a second. You can use either the 3-stat or the 4-stat character cards as activators, your choice. Rule number 4. You may include one Beyonder or Hades activator into your deck. These function like a wild card and can be used to pull any non-1 per deck special from your battle site. So if you had already discarded all of your Rhino activators, you'd still be able to play this Hades to pull one of his cards. I can use as few or as many of the characters listed on the battle site as I want, from 1 through all 6, and use as many specials per character as I want so long as I don't violate those single 1 per deck. So here's a sample battle site for the Vault. I've used Juggernaut's 8 as my only 1 per deck, so no other 1 per decks can be used in the battle site. Juggernaut also has one other special, so I have a total of 2 activators set aside. The Serpent Society has 3 specials, and therefore 3 activators, and so on. You'll note that there's no duplicate codes among all the different cards. For example, there's only 1 AA, or 1 CU, 1 JC, and so on. The only thing that technically looks like a duplicate is actually this Serpent Society's AG along with Hobgoblin's AG. However, you'll notice that they have different effects. And if you look at that overpower.ca website, this one is actually miscoded and it should be an AD, meaning that we don't have an incorrect battle site. And those are some really important cards to look for your battle site. Having an AG or an AD gives you really good defense. Other cards, like this AO Negate, are also very handy. And it can be good to mix both an offensive and defensive special for each of the characters you're thinking about including to give you additional flexibility, like in the case with Hobgoblin. But now let's show you how this all works. I'm going to take all my battle site specials and place them face down under my battle site. Unlike any other pile in the game, I can look at my battle site specials as many times as I want. And all the activator cards themselves will get shuffled into your deck. Now, when I draw a hand, I might get something like this. I have to resolve events and discards as usual, and in this case, I have to discard some duplicate activators as well. The Hobgoblins will count as duplicates and I'll have to discard one, even though one of them has 3 sets and the other one has 4. The other activators don't duplicate amongst themselves. Also, another thing to note, I can't place an activator unless I'm using the Team Overpower home base. So let's say I place the following: we venture and the battle begins. It's my turn, and I want to choose my remaining Hobgoblin activator. I'm going to discard it to my defeated characters pile, and then I'm going to search my battle site for any Hobgoblin special to use and play it. Now it's my turn, so I must select an offensive card, and I'm going to take Hobgoblin 7 energy. Put the battle site back, and then I have to declare which character is going to make the attack. So in this case, I'll say Dr. Doom is going to attack Merlin with Hobgoblin 7 energy. This card is going to function exactly as if Dr. Doom was listed on the side instead of Hobgoblin. Once the attack crosses the astral plane, my opponent's going to have a chance to negate this special just like they would any other. My opponent is going to use a 7 energy to defend it, and the special will go to my dead pile. After that, the turn's going to pass like usual. One very important thing to note is that all activators are assumed to have the first icon on them. This means that they can't be used to follow up allies or additional attacks. So if I played Dr. Doom's 4, I couldn't then follow up with a Juggernaut activator. However, I can do it in reverse. If I played the Hades activator to fetch this Venom 4 strength, make an additional, and make an attack, I then could use a place or a card in hand to keep the string going. Now it's my opponent's turn, and he's going to choose to attack Dr. Doom with an 8 energy through Magneto. I don't have anything in hand that can block it, so instead I'm going to use this Hades activator to search for and take Hobgoblin's Avoid 1 attack, and have Dr. Doom play that to avoid the 8. The turn passes and I choose to stay in and use my Juggernaut activator. I'm going to search for a Juggernaut card,
and have Nightcrawler attack Jubilee with it. That's going to land. I'm going to be able to use a follow-up 5 combat card from hand also onto Jubilee, which my opponent will let land. And the battle continues from there.
Battlesites are cool options that add complexity and choice to the game. I've heard it described how they're powerful early in the game when you have a lot of different options for what you need, but they get weaker and more situational towards the end of the game. This is in contrast to any characters which maintain a pretty static level of usefulness. In Legacy OverPower, they're a unique choice that you can use to help fill gaps and help your deck do what it needs to in order to win. If you want to have more analysis and strategy, go ahead and take a listen to the Overpower Mountain and that in-depth episode all on Battlesites. There's a lot in it. Good luck with your Battlesite endeavors, enjoy the adventure, and don't always default to the handful of common ones out there when building your deck. Instead, choose the one that's right for you. So thanks for watching, and venture well.